Hello, I'm Laura Mathias. I'm 32 years young. I live in Essex in England, and I have had alopecia areata since I was 13, which over the years developed into alopecia universalis. I also have the other autoimmune conditions of atopic eczema and asthma. Technically, I was diagnosed by my hairdresser because she was the first one to use the term alopecia, and she was the first person to notice a small 50p sized bald patch on the back of my head when she was doing my hair. She told me not to worry and recommended to my mum that we go to the local GP, local doctor's surgery. And I was very lucky that this GP, general practitioner, actually had a specialism in dermatology. So I got lucky because he instantly knew it was alopecia. That's as far as the luck went, I would say. But all I remember is thinking, but my hair's falling out, what do I do? And I don't feel I got that answer. I was just told, calm down and your hair will probably come back. And I was sent on my way. I don't remember being guided through anything. All I remember is all of a sudden that small patch became 2, then 3, and then it all joined up. And at some point, I just stopped leaving the house because I couldn't bear to be seen as a teenager that was going bald, and I didn't know what to do. So I literally became agoraphobic. I went from taking the odd day off as it was getting worse, odd day off school, to I suddenly didn't go in for a week. That became 2 weeks. And it just got to a point where it wasn't a choice anymore. I just could not go to school. Losing my hair at 13 years old was too much to emotionally handle. It was just too much. And it shouldn't have been about telling me to calm down and out the door and here's a cream to put on your head and put on some greasy spots. It should have been, this person is now very vulnerable. They have something massively changing about their appearance that will impact how people are going to treat them in society. And we need to offer as much support as possible to ensure that this girl, this very outgoing, chatty girl who's very smart, isn't going to suddenly drop out of school and stop leaving the house for a year, which is eventually what happened to me. The hairdresser who first spotted that patch about a year before shaved what was left of my hair, put the wig on me, and I did not leave my house ever again without wearing a wig for 17 years. Because I'd never interrogated these feelings. And that's only started happening since the pandemic. So it's taken me a long time to get to a point now where I can sit and talk to you bald and embracing my alopecia. The only touch point with any kind of psychological or mental health support I remember was a one-day session because I'd been off school for so long. So it was more kind of an intervention to check if I was suitable to go back to school. And I've spoken about this with my mum since. And she was like, you just charmed them, Laura. You faked it. You told them all the right things. You made it seem like you were fine. And yet the truth was 2 weeks later, my mum drove me and my sister to a nearby town to go out for lunch or something. And I couldn't get out of the car. And my mum did tough love. She left me the car keys and she said, you need to be able to do this. You've got to do this. We will be at this place in this location. And I waited in the car for 4 hours rather than get out. So no, I wasn't okay mentally. I think community is the game changer. Absolutely. I don't expect every GP or every dermatology professional to be an expert in the emotions of a 13-year-old child losing their hair. Obviously, lots of different people come at different ages with hair loss, and there's no right time to lose your hair. But it goes without saying, but apparently it doesn't. I'm going to you as a doctor to tell me that everything's going to be okay, and that's not lying to me. My hair might not come back, and you can tell me that, but I need you to tell me that in spite of that physical change in my body, that everything is going to be okay, because it will be, life will go on. But for me, the way I was dealt with, without any kind of allusion to my mental well-being, entirely belittled my experience. I felt like I was making either a mountain out of a molehill or that there was a practical issue with my body that needed to be fixed. But they didn't seem to have a solution here, and that bit wasn't even talked about. So healthcare professionals need to acknowledge that you can't treat alopecia in isolation of the rest of the body, the mental life. That you just can't. Because especially as a young teenage girl, losing all my hair entirely changed the course of my life. That's not an over-exaggeration. And I'm just lucky that something clicked in, and clearly something deep within me meant that I was going to be okay. but it could have been okay a lot sooner if I'd have been directed to the right community quicker.